Sicha Lamed Hey, number 35. So Rebbe Nachman's time was the beginning of the Enlightenment movement, the Haskalah. He was over there in Europe. I think that led on to becoming Reform eventually, right? So Rebbe Nachman said that there was going to be, it was not just that. It was really just starting over there. But aside from that, Rebbe Nachman said there's going to be a lot of apikorsis. And I mean, it's translated in that book, Ari Kaplan translated as atheism. But it's not just atheism. Apikorsis is heresy. So atheism, heresy, but he says there's going to be a lot of apikorsis in the world. And he spoke about many times that this apikorsis that's coming to the world is because of our many sins, he said. And he said, happy is the one that grabs onto Emunah at this time, because people are going to have a lot of questions, etc. So the main thing is just to have Emunah, believe in God. And he said, even though it's not going to help, the fact that I'm talking to you about it now, he said, it won't help. It's not going to stop it from coming. It's not going to stop it. But a person needs to strengthen himself in Emunah, because even though even so, it's going to be strengthening, and the confusions are going to be coming to the world. Because even Daniel, I guess in Daniel's time this was happening. Yeah, Daniel said, Daniel was prophesying about the time before Mashiach. He said that before Mashiach comes, the pasuk says, Yizbaru v'yislabenu v'yitzarfu rabim. That that many there will be refined, shining white, and purifying, but still Hirshor Rishayim, the evil will act wicked. But the wise ones will understand. So Daniel is talking about the times before Mashiach. He's saying that there's going to be people trying to refine themselves, but still there's going to be a lot of wicked people doing wicked things, like we see now. Right? We're living in the middle of Gashminsville, physicality, Miami, South Beach, right? And we see there's a few shuls around here, yeshivas. People are learning and trying to work on themselves, but still, there's people are being wicked and they're going against the Torah. Even for non-Jews, they're transgressing the 7 laws. They're legalizing same-sex marriages and abortion and all these things that are clearly against the Torah, against what they're supposed to be doing. But we have to know that this was meant to happen. All these things were meant to happen before Mashiach. It was warned. So if so, the fact that we know about it, we know before that this Nisayon is coming. So therefore, someone will be who stands in this Nisayon, we stand the test, and basically it sounds like it makes it easier if we know that it's going to happen. That was why he was saying that we're not going to be able to do anything about it, but just to know that it's going to happen, and if you strengthen in Emunah, you'll get through it. So happy is a person that stands in his faith, and he'll merit all the good that they and all the things that they prophesied. So therefore, he says it's very fitting that each person should have pity on himself, to remain steadfast and strong in his Emunah, and not to stand, to get messed up in the test, because we know this before. In truth, nevertheless, even though that we know about it before, it's still going to be a great test, and many people will act wickedly, like the pasuk says, Yeshua Shaim. It said they acted wickedly. Okay, so the basic thing he's saying here is he was warning us, and he was warning them, and he's warning us now. We said, Rebbe Nachman said, Eish tukad sheli ad bias Mashiach, that my fire will burn until Messiah comes. That Rebbe Nachman was speaking to our generation. They even told him that his Torah came 200 years too early. And we really see it today. There was a lot of opposition back then against Rebbe Nachman and his followers, and now it's spreading like fire. Like mamish. His fire is spreading like fire. This is his advice, that it's going to come, there's going to be doubts, there's going to be atheism, but to hold strong in Emunah. Strengthen yourself in faith. And actually he says in the Gemara, the end of Makos, it goes through different leaders of the Jewish people, that 613 was too much, so they narrowed it down like as categories, David Melech, and finally one of the Nevi'im said Tzaddik b'emunascha yechya, that a tzaddik will live with his emunah. He came down to one principle, was emunah. I forgot if it was either Habakkuk or Amos, I don't remember. It's one of the Nevi'im. That a tzaddik b'emunascha yechya, that a tzaddik will live with his emunah. That's the main thing, is to have emunah. It's the main principle, and that's what a lot of people speak about today, especially in Breslov. Emunah. Emunah is also tefillah, though. When you do his bodidus, you talk to Hashem, that strengthens emunah, because if I'm talking to somebody, I believe that they're there. So I'm talking to them. So the more you talk to Hashem, the more you do his bodidus, the more you feel that there's somebody there listening to you, and the more that comes with you throughout the day. I find it's a way to fulfill the pasuk. It says, Shavisi Hashem lenegdi tamid. I place Hashem before me always. So I personally, like when I do his bodidus, at least for the first, half hour after his bodidus, I still feel like I'm in the presence of Hashem. At least somehow I can think about Hashem. Then 2 hours later, I forget completely until I get back to Mincha, but we try. So I think it helps, little by little. We're human. Okay, the next point he says is, even though I'm still making it known before that because of the minor or the small amount of religious people that will strengthen themselves in their emunah, that's why he's talking about this. And for sure they're going to have wars, big wars in their thoughts. And in order that they have meishiv nefesh, in order they have equanimity, a settled thought, and strengthening themselves more, that we already spoke about it before. So he was just speaking about it in order for those few people that would be in the fight. Some people are not in the fight. Some people just give up. They have their questions and that's it. Their questions aren't questions, their questions are their answers. They're not looking for your answer. Their question is their answer, and they give up, and that's it. So he was speaking to the people that would be still in the fight, dealing with their questions and having actual questions, telling them there's going to be confusion, to have faith.